Marcus Chen stood in the long line of soldiers, waiting for his turn. The war was over. Humanity had won against the Zephyrian Empire, something no one had expected. The aliens had better ships, better weapons, and better technology. But humans had something else. They had the will to never give up. The military base was busy with activity. Soldiers walked around with tired faces but proud steps. They had survived the worst war in human history. Now the government was giving out rewards to the veterans. Some got medals, others got money. A few lucky ones got new homes on peaceful planets. Marcus did not want any of these things. He just wanted to go home to Earth and forget about the war. He had seen too much death and destruction. His hands still shook sometimes when he remembered the battles. All he wanted was peace. "Sergeant Chen," a voice called out. Marcus looked up to see Lieutenant Colonel Rodriguez walking toward him. The man had a serious look on his face. "Yes, sir," Marcus said, standing straight. "You have been selected for a special reward," Rodriguez said. "Follow me." Marcus felt confused but followed the officer. They walked through several corridors until they reached a secure area of the base. Rodriguez stopped in front of a heavy metal door. "What is this about, sir?" Marcus asked. "The government has decided to distribute some of the war spoils to our best soldiers," Rodriguez explained. "You have been assigned an alien slave. It is one of the Kithara species that the Zephyrians used to own." Marcus felt his stomach drop. "Yes. These creatures were the property of the Zephyrian Empire. Now they belong to us. You should feel honored. Only the best soldiers get this reward." Rodriguez opened the door, and Marcus saw something that made him feel sick. Inside the small room sat a being unlike anything he had ever seen. It looked somewhat like a human, but was taller and thinner. Its skin had a pale blue color that seemed to shimmer in the light. The creature had 4 arms and large eyes that glowed softly. But those eyes looked empty and sad. The alien sat on the floor, perfectly still. It wore simple gray clothes that looked too big for its thin body. A metal collar was around its neck with numbers on it. 7,429. "This is your property now," Rodriguez said. "The creature understands basic human language and follows orders well. It has been trained to be obedient. You can use it for any work you need." Marcus stared at the alien in shock. The creature did not look at him or move. It just sat there like a broken machine waiting for commands. "Sir, I do not want a slave," Marcus said quietly. Rodriguez frowned. "This is not about what you want, Sergeant. This is your reward from a grateful nation. The creature is valuable. Do not waste this opportunity." "But slavery is wrong," Marcus said. "We fought against the Zephyrians because they were cruel. How can we do the same thing they did? These aliens are not human," Rodriguez said coldly. "They were already slaves when we found them. We are just making use of available resources. The creature will work for you, or it will work for someone else. That is not your choice to make." Marcus looked at the alien again. For just a moment, one of its large eyes looked up at him. In that glance, Marcus saw something that made his heart break. He saw intelligence. He saw pain. He saw a person trapped inside a broken shell. "What happened to it?" Marcus asked. "The Zephyrians used these creatures as living computers," Rodriguez explained. "They have special mental abilities. This one was connected to their war machines for many years. Most of them end up like this after extended service. Broken but still useful for simple tasks." The alien looked down again and became perfectly still. Marcus noticed that its hands were shaking slightly. "You will take the creature to your quarters," Rodriguez said. "Feed it, house it, and put it to work. There are regulations about how to handle alien property. Study them well." Rodriguez handed Marcus a tablet with information about slave care. The very idea made Marcus feel disgusted. He had joined the military to protect innocent people, not to own them. "Do I have any choice in this matter?" Marcus asked. "No, you do not," Rodriguez said firmly. "This creature is now your responsibility. If you refuse, it will be given to someone else. Someone who might not be as kind as you seem to be." Marcus looked at the alien again. The thought of it being given to someone who might hurt it made him feel even worse. At least with him, it would be safe. "Come," he said gently to the creature. "We are leaving." The alien stood up immediately, moving like a robot. It followed Marcus without making any sound. Its feet barely made noise on the metal floor. As they walked through the base, other soldiers stared at them. Some looked jealous. Others looked amused. A few made comments that made Marcus angry. "Lucky you, Chen," one soldier called out. "I heard those aliens can read minds. You will never be bored. Make sure it knows who the boss is," another one said with a laugh. "These creatures can be dangerous if they get ideas." Marcus ignored the comments and kept walking. The alien followed behind him like a shadow. It never looked up or showed any interest in what was happening around it. When they reached his quarters, Marcus opened the door and stepped inside. The alien followed and then stood perfectly still, waiting for orders. Marcus looked at the creature and felt overwhelmed. He had no idea what to do. He was a soldier, not a slave owner. Everything about this situation felt wrong. "Sit down," he said softly. The alien immediately sat on the floor. Marcus sat down across from it and really looked at the creature for the first time. Despite its alien appearance, he could see that it was suffering. Its skin was dull and gray in some places. Its large eyes were surrounded by dark circles. It looked tired and hopeless. "This is wrong," Marcus said to himself. "This is all wrong." The alien did not react to his words. It just sat there, waiting for the next command, like a broken toy. Marcus knew that his life had just become much more complicated. He also knew that he could not treat this intelligent being like property, but he had no idea how to help it or what to do next. The war might be over, but Marcus realized that his real battle was just beginning. 3 days had passed since the alien came to live with Marcus. During those days, Marcus had learned many things about his unwanted guest. The creature needed very little food and could go without sleep for long periods. It followed every order perfectly but never spoke unless asked a direct question. Marcus had read the military manual about alien slaves. It was full of rules about feeding schedules, work assignments, and discipline methods. The manual treated the aliens like machines that needed maintenance. Reading it made Marcus feel sick. On the 4th morning, Marcus made a decision. He could not keep calling the creature by its number. It deserved a name. "I am going to call you Kai," Marcus said as they sat in his small kitchen. "Do you mind that name?" The alien looked up with surprise. This was the first time Marcus had asked for its opinion about anything. After a long pause, it spoke in a soft voice. "I do not mind," Kai said. "But why do you ask me?" "Because you are a person, not a thing," Marcus said. "People should have names they like." Kai stared at Marcus with its large eyes. For the first time since they met, Marcus saw something other than emptiness in those eyes. He saw confusion, and maybe a tiny bit of hope. "The manual says I should give you work to do," Marcus continued. "But I do not want to treat you like a slave. Is there anything you would like to do?" Kai was quiet for a long time. It seemed to be thinking very hard about the question. "I used to enjoy reading," Kai said finally. "Before the war. Before they put the machines in my head." Marcus felt excited. This was the first real piece of information Kai had shared about itself. "What kind of things did you like to read?" Marcus asked. "Stories," Kai said. And for just a moment its skin seemed to glow a little brighter. "My people told stories about the stars and the worlds beyond our home. I collected them and wrote them down." "You were a writer?" Marcus asked. "Something like that," Kai said. "I preserved the old stories and sometimes created new ones. But that was a long time ago." Kai 7. Kai $7. 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 Marcus stood up and went to his small bookshelf. He pulled out a tablet that contained thousands of human books and stories. "Would you like to read some human stories?" he asked, offering the tablet to Kai. Kai looked at the tablet like it might bite him. Am I allowed? You do not need permission to read, Marcus said. This is for you to enjoy. Slowly, Kai reached out and took the tablet. As soon as it touched the device, the screen lit up with strange symbols. Kai jerked back in alarm. What happened? Marcus asked. I am sorry, Kai said quickly. I did not mean to break it. Please do not punish me. Marcus looked at the tablet. The symbols on the screen were not human writing. They looked like some kind of alien language. You did not break it, Marcus said gently. I think you somehow changed the language. Can you change it back? Kai touched the screen again and the human text returned. But Marcus had seen something interesting. Kai had made the device do something it was not supposed to be able to do. How did you do that? Marcus asked. I do not know, Kai said, looking frightened. Sometimes machines respond to me in ways they should not. The Zephyrians used this ability. They connected me to their computers and made me control them. It hurt very much. Marcus felt angry at the thought of Kai being forced to use its abilities in painful ways. But he was also amazed. Kai could somehow communicate with technology directly. Does it hurt when you do it naturally? Marcus asked. No, Kai said. When I choose to do it, it feels like speaking with an old friend. Over the next few days, Marcus began to see changes in Kai. The alien started eating more and sleeping better. Its skin became brighter, and sometimes Marcus caught it humming softly while reading. Kai seemed to love human stories, especially ones about adventure and friendship. But not everyone approved of how Marcus was treating his slave. Other soldiers began to talk. Chen is too soft on that alien, Marcus heard one soldier say. He treats it like a pet instead of property. I heard he gave it books to read, another soldier said with disgust. What is next? Will he invite it to dinner parties? The comments bothered Marcus, but he tried to ignore them. Kai was getting better, and that was what mattered. One afternoon, Captain Williams came to visit Marcus in his quarters. Williams was known for being strict and following rules exactly. Sergeant Chen, Williams said, looking around the room. I have received some reports about how you are handling your alien. Kai immediately moved to the corner of the room and sat perfectly still. Marcus noticed that its skin became duller, like it was trying to make itself invisible. What kind of reports, sir? Marcus asked. Some of your fellow soldiers think you are being too lenient, Williams said. They say you treat the creature like an equal instead of property. This could be dangerous. Dangerous how, sir? These aliens are not human, Williams said firmly. They think differently than we do. If you give them too much freedom, they might get ideas about escaping or fighting back. You need to maintain proper discipline. Marcus looked at Kai, who had not moved or made any sound. The alien was clearly terrified. The creature seems perfectly obedient to me, sir, Marcus said carefully. For now, Williams said. But you need to establish clear boundaries. Make sure it knows who is in charge. I suggest you start giving it real work to do, instead of letting it play with books all day. After Williams left, Marcus found Kai still sitting in the corner. The alien was shaking slightly. Are you all right? Marcus asked. Will you send me away? Kai asked in a whisper. No, Marcus said firmly. You are staying here with me. But the captain said. The captain does not understand, Marcus said. You are safe here. I will not let anyone hurt you or take you away. Kai looked up at Marcus with wonder. Why are you kind to me? I am just a slave. You are not just anything, Marcus said. You are Kai. You are a person who likes stories and used to write them. You are someone who has been hurt, but is getting stronger. You are my friend. The word friend made Kai's skin glow brighter than Marcus had ever seen it. For the first time since they met, Kai smiled. I have not had a friend in many years, Kai said softly. Well, you have one now, Marcus said. And friends take care of each other. That night, as Kai read quietly in the corner, Marcus made a promise to himself. No matter what anyone said or did, he would protect Kai. The alien deserved freedom and happiness, not slavery and fear, but Marcus also knew that their situation was becoming more complicated. Other soldiers were watching them closely. If he was not careful, someone might try to take Kai away from him. The thought of losing his new friend made Marcus determined to find a better solution. Somehow, he would find a way to give Kai the freedom it deserved. 2 weeks had passed since Captain Williams visited. Marcus had been more careful about how he and Kai interacted in public. But in private, their friendship continued to grow. Kai was like a different person now. Its skin glowed with healthy light, and it often shared stories from its home world during their evening meals. Marcus had learned that Kai's people, the Kithara, were naturally peaceful. They had been explorers and artists before the Zephyrians conquered them. Kai told beautiful stories about crystal cities that sang in the wind and gardens that grew among the stars. My people believed that all living things were connected, Kai explained one evening. We could sense the thoughts and feelings of others, especially when we were close to them. The Zephyrians used this ability to make us into living communication networks. Is that how you can make machines work differently? Marcus asked. Yes, Kai said. Technology is not really alive, but it has patterns of energy that I can sense and change. It is like learning to speak a new language. The next day, Marcus faced a problem that would change everything. His combat suit had been damaged during the last battle of the war. The armor's computer system was completely broken, and the engineers could not fix it. Without a working suit, Marcus could not return to active duty. The damage is too complex, the chief engineer told Marcus. The alien virus weapons scrambled all the circuits. We would need to replace the entire system. And we do not have the parts. Marcus was frustrated. The suit was expensive military equipment, and he could get in trouble if it could not be repaired. He mentioned the problem to Kai that evening. May I look at it? Kai asked quietly. Marcus was surprised. You want to help fix my armor? If you will let me, Kai said. I might be able to understand what is wrong. Marcus brought the damaged suit to their quarters. As soon as Kai touched the armor, its skin began to glow brighter. The alien closed its eyes and placed all 4 hands on different parts of the suit. The patterns are very tangled, Kai said softly, but I can see how they should flow. What happened next amazed Marcus. Kai seemed to communicate directly with the suit's computer. Lights began flashing on the armor in complex patterns. Systems that had been dead for weeks suddenly came to life. Within an hour, the suit was working perfectly. How did you do that? Marcus asked in wonder. I asked the machine to remember how it used to work, Kai explained. Then I helped it find its way back to the correct patterns. Marcus realized that Kai's abilities were far beyond what anyone had imagined. This was not just simple machine control. Kai could actually heal damaged technology. The next morning, Marcus faced a difficult choice. He could report the successful repair and give credit to the engineers, or he could tell the truth about what Kai had done. He decided to be honest. When the engineers saw the perfectly repaired suit, they were shocked. Marcus explained how Kai had fixed it. Within hours, word reached the commanding officers. Bring the alien to my office immediately, Colonel Harrison ordered. Marcus felt worried as he and Kai walked to the command center. Kai seemed nervous too, its skin becoming paler with each step. Colonel Harrison was waiting with several other officers and scientists. They all stared at Kai with great interest. Sergeant Chen tells us that you repaired his combat suit, Harrison said to Kai. Is this true? Yes, Kai said quietly. Show us, Harrison ordered, pointing to a table full of broken equipment. Fix these machines. Kai looked at Marcus with frightened eyes. Marcus nodded encouragingly, and Kai approached the table. Within minutes, every piece of equipment was working like new. The officers talked excitedly among themselves. Marcus heard words like valuable asset and strategic advantage. This changes everything, Harrison said finally. Sergeant Chen, you will bring the alien to the research lab tomorrow morning. Our scientists need to study its abilities. Sir, Marcus said carefully, Kai is not just a tool to be used. It is an intelligent being with feelings. Feelings? Harrison laughed. Sergeant, this creature is military property with incredible abilities. We have a duty to use every advantage we have. That night, Kai was very quiet. It sat in the corner reading, but Marcus could see that it was upset. "What is wrong?" Marcus asked. "They want to study me like the Zephyrians did," Kai said sadly. "They want to use my abilities for their own purposes. I will not let them hurt you," Marcus promised. "You may not have a choice," Kai said. "I have seen how this ends. First they will test me. Then they will connect me to their machines. Then I will become a tool again. Just like before." The next day brought even worse news. During the night, Kai had sensed something that terrified it. "There are Kithara out there," Kai told Marcus urgently. "My people are still alive, but they are in great danger." "What do you mean?" Marcus asked. "I can sense them through the connection we all share," Kai explained. "There is a hidden fleet of Zephyrian ships moving toward human space. They have many of my people imprisoned on those ships, forced to operate the weapons and shields." "Are you sure?" Marcus asked. "Yes," Kai said. "The Zephyrians are planning a surprise attack. They think humans will not expect it because the war is supposed to be over." Marcus felt his blood turn cold. If Kai was right, thousands of human lives were in danger. But if he reported this information, the military would definitely take Kai away and use it as a weapon. "How long do we have?" Marcus asked. "Perhaps 2 weeks before they reach human territory," Kai said. "But Marcus, if you tell your leaders about this, they will force me to help them. They will connect me to their war machines just like the Zephyrians did." Marcus faced the most difficult decision of his life. He could stay silent and let the attack happen, keeping Kai safe, but allowing innocent people to die. Or he could report what he knew and watch his friend be turned into a tool of war. "There might be another way," Marcus said slowly. "What if we could free your people instead of fighting them?" "Free them?" Kai asked with surprise. "You said you can sense other Kithara. Can you communicate with them?" "Yes, if I am close enough," Kai said. "If your people are being forced to operate the Zephyrian weapons, what would happen if they refused to fight?" Kai's eyes grew wide with understanding. "The ships would be defenseless. But my people are slaves. They cannot just choose to rebel. They could if they knew that freedom was possible," Marcus said. "If they knew that humans were different from Zephyrians." For the first time in days, Kai's skin began to glow with hope. "Do you really think it could work?" "I think it is worth trying," Marcus said. "But first, we need to convince my commanders that there is a better way to win than turning you into a weapon." Marcus knew that the next few days would determine not just their fate, but the fate of everyone in the war. He also knew that he was about to challenge his entire military system to do something it had never done before. Choose compassion over conquest. Marcus spent the entire night thinking about what to do. By morning, he had made his decision. He would tell the commanders about the hidden fleet, but he would also fight for a different approach than simply using Kai as a weapon. When they arrived at the command center, Colonel Harrison was waiting with a team of scientists and military strategists. They had prepared a special room full of equipment for testing Kai's abilities. "Before we begin," Marcus said, "I have important information about enemy activity." He told them about the hidden Zephyrian fleet and the planned surprise attack. The room immediately became very busy as officers began making plans for defense. "This is excellent intelligence," Harrison said. "The aliens' abilities are even more valuable than we thought. We can use it to spy on enemy movements and coordinate our responses." "There is another option," Marcus said carefully. "Kai believes we can turn the enemy's own weapons against them by freeing the enslaved Kithara." "Explain," Harrison ordered. Marcus laid out their plan. Instead of forcing Kai to work for the military, they would allow it to contact its enslaved people and offer them freedom. If the Kithara chose to stop operating the Zephyrian weapons, the enemy ships would be helpless. "This is ridiculous," General Morrison said when he arrived to hear the proposal. "We have a chance to gain a powerful weapon, and you want us to risk everything on the hope that enemy slaves will rebel?" "They are not our enemies," Marcus said firmly. "They are victims, just like Kai was. If we treat them with respect instead of force, they will help us willingly." Sergeant Chen, Harrison said coldly. You seem to have forgotten that this alien belongs to the military. We will use it however we see fit. No, Marcus said, surprising everyone in the room. I refuse to allow Kai to be used as a weapon. The room fell silent. Several officers stared at Marcus in shock. Excuse me? Morrison said dangerously. I formally renounce any claim to Kai, Marcus announced. I declare it to be a free being with the right to make its own choices. You do not have the authority to free military property, Harrison said. Then I will face whatever punishment you think I deserve, Marcus said. But I will not be part of enslaving an innocent person. The commanders talked angrily among themselves for several minutes. Finally, Morrison turned back to Marcus. Sergeant Chen, you are relieved of duty pending court-martial for insubordination and destruction of military property, he said. The alien will be transferred to our research division immediately. 2 guards moved toward Kai, but the alien stepped forward and spoke clearly. I choose to stay with Marcus, Kai said. He has freed me, and I am no longer anyone's property. The alien has no legal rights, Morrison said. Remove it from this room. As the guards reached for Kai, something extraordinary happened. Every piece of electronic equipment in the room suddenly stopped working. Lights went out, computers shut down, and communication devices went silent. What is happening? Harrison shouted. I am sorry, Kai said calmly. But I cannot allow myself to be enslaved again. I have disabled all the machines in this room. They will work normally again when I choose to allow it. The officers stared at Kai in amazement and fear. They had never seen anything like this before. You see, Marcus said. Kai is not a tool to be used. It is a person with its own will and power. You can try to force it to obey, but that will only make it resist. What do you want? Morrison asked Kai directly. I want to help save both human and Kithara lives, Kai replied. But I will only do so as a free being working with friends, not as a slave working for masters. Marcus felt proud of Kai's courage. The alien had found its strength and was standing up for itself. Let me contact my people, Kai continued. Let me offer them the same freedom that Marcus gave to me. If they choose to help you, they will be far more effective than if you force them. The commanders talked quietly among themselves for a long time. Finally, Morrison made a decision. We will try your approach, he said reluctantly. But if it fails, both of you will face serious consequences. Over the next 3 days, Kai worked tirelessly to establish contact with the enslaved Kithara on the enemy ships, using the base's communication equipment, which responded to Kai in ways that amazed the human technicians. It sent messages of hope across space. I am telling them about you, Kai explained to Marcus. I am showing them that some humans are different from the Zephyrians. I am offering them a choice they have never had before. The response was slow at first. Many Kithara had been enslaved for so long that they found it hard to believe freedom was possible. But gradually, more and more of them began to respond to Kai's messages. They are afraid, Kai told Marcus one evening. They have been hurt so badly that they do not trust easily. But some are beginning to hope. Keep trying, Marcus encouraged. Show them that they are not alone. On the 4th day, something amazing happened. Kai suddenly became very excited, its skin glowing brighter than Marcus had ever seen. They are listening, Kai announced. Many of my people are ready to act, but they want to be sure that humans will truly treat them as equals. How can we prove that? Marcus asked. Let me speak to all the human soldiers, Kai suggested. Let them see that I am free and happy. Let them understand that Kithara are people, not property. Marcus arranged for Kai to address the entire base. Many soldiers were curious about the alien that had caused so much discussion. Others came because they were ordered to attend. When Kai stood in front of the crowd, it was nervous but determined. I was a slave, Kai began. I was broken and hopeless. But Marcus Chen showed me something I had forgotten. He showed me that I was still a person worthy of respect and friendship. Kai told the assembled soldiers about its life before the war, about the pain of slavery, and about the joy of freedom. Many soldiers listened with growing understanding. My people are still slaves, Kai continued. But they can be free if you choose to offer them friendship instead of conquest. They can help you not because they are forced to, but because they choose to. When Kai finished speaking, the room was quiet. Then, one soldier began to applaud. Soon, most of the base was clapping. Marcus saw that many soldiers had tears in their eyes. That night, Kai received a flood of responses from the hidden fleet. Hundreds of Kithara were ready to rebel against their captors. It is working, Kai told Marcus excitedly. My people believe that freedom is possible. They are ready to act. When? Marcus asked. Tomorrow, Kai said. When the fleet reaches the edge of human space, my people will disable all the weapons and engines. The Zephyrian ships will be helpless. Marcus felt both excited and nervous. In less than 24 hours, they would know if their plan had worked. If it failed, both he and Kai would face severe punishment. If it succeeded, they might change the way humans and aliens related to each other forever. As they prepared for the most important day of their lives, Marcus realized that his friendship with Kai had become something much larger. It had become a symbol of what was possible when people chose compassion over conquest. The day of the plan arrived with clear skies and nervous energy throughout the base. Marcus and Kai sat in the command center, surrounded by officers and technicians who watched their screens with intense focus. The hidden Zephyrian fleet had been detected at the edge of human space, just as Kai had predicted. Contact established with the lead ship, reported the communication officer. They are demanding our surrender. General Morrison looked at Kai. Are your people ready? Yes, Kai said, its skin glowing with determination. They are waiting for my signal. Give it, Morrison ordered. Kai placed its hands on the communication console and closed its eyes. Marcus watched as the alien's natural light pulsed in complex patterns. Across space, Kai was sending a message of freedom to its enslaved people. For several minutes, nothing happened. The Zephyrian ships continued their approach toward the human defense fleet. Marcus began to worry that the plan had failed. Then everything changed at once. Sir, the tactical officer shouted, the enemy ships are stopping. On the main screen, they could see the Zephyrian fleet slowly coming to a halt. One by one, the ships began to drift without power. What is happening? Morrison asked. Kai opened its eyes, and Marcus saw tears of joy streaming down its face. They did it, Kai whispered. My people have taken control of the ships. The communication console suddenly came alive with signals from the enemy fleet. But these were not threats or demands. They were messages of hope and gratitude from the freed Kithara. We are free, came the first message. The human friend speaks truth. We are no longer slaves. More messages followed, each one telling the same story. Throughout the fleet, the enslaved Kithara had simultaneously rebelled against their Zephyrian captors. Without their unwilling servants to operate the ships, the Zephyrians were completely helpless. Receiving communication from the Zephyrian commander, the communication officer reported. He wants to talk, Morrison nodded, and the image of an angry alien appeared on the screen. The Zephyrian was tall and insect-like, with hard armor and cruel eyes. Humans, the Zephyrian commander hissed. You have used illegal weapons against us. Our slaves have been corrupted by your technology. Your slaves have simply chosen freedom. Morrison replied, calmly. We offered them what you never did. Respect and choice. Impossible. These creatures are property. They cannot think for themselves. They can, and they have, Kai said, stepping forward so the Zephyrian could see it. I am living proof that Kithara are people, not property. The Zephyrian commander stared at Kai in shock. You are the missing unit from Sector 7. How are you here? How are you speaking freely? I am free because a human chose to treat me with kindness, Kai replied. I am here because I choose to be here. And my people have made the same choice. Over the next hour, reports came in from all across the fleet. Not a single shot had been fired, but the entire Zephyrian force was defeated. The freed Kithara had not only disabled the weapons, but had also imprisoned their former captors. This is incredible, Morrison said to Marcus. Your approach worked better than any battle could have. Kai deserves the credit, Marcus said. It had the courage to reach out to its people and offer them hope. As news of the victory spread, something even more amazing began to happen. Kithara slaves throughout Zephyrian space began to rebel. Kai's message had spread beyond just the attacking fleet. Across dozens of worlds, the enslaved aliens were choosing freedom. My people are sending me pictures, Kai said excitedly, sharing images from its mental connection. They are destroying the slave collars. They are taking control of the cities. They are free. Within days, the entire Zephyrian Empire began to collapse. Without their enslaved workforce, the Zephyrians could not operate their technology or maintain their military. Many chose to surrender rather than face complete defeat. The aftermath brought changes that no one had expected. Marcus found himself promoted and decorated as a hero. But more importantly, his Chen protocol became the standard for how humans interacted with former slaves and prisoners. You have shown us a new way to think about victory, General Morrison told Marcus during the award ceremony. Conquest through compassion is far more powerful than conquest through force. Kai became the first official alien ambassador to humanity. It worked tirelessly to help other freed Kithara adapt to their new lives and to establish diplomatic relations between the species. I never imagined that one act of kindness could change so much, Marcus said to Kai one evening as they watched the sunset from their new home on the embassy grounds. Kindness has power that weapons do not, Kai replied. When you chose to treat me as a person instead of property, you planted a seed that grew into freedom for millions of my people. The rescued Kithara proved to be incredible allies. Their natural abilities with technology helped humanity rebuild after the war and explore new frontiers among the stars. More importantly, their perspective on cooperation and connection influenced human culture in positive ways. We are building something new, Kai told the first interspecies council meeting. Not an empire based on conquest, but a community based on friendship and mutual respect. As time passed, more alien species that had been enslaved by the Zephyrians reached out to the Human Kithara Alliance. Each group was welcomed not as subjects or property, but as equals and potential friends. Marcus often thought about how different things could have been if he had simply followed orders and treated Kai as military property. The war might have continued for years, millions more lives would have been lost, and entire species might have remained enslaved. Do you ever regret your choice? Kai asked him one day, as they worked together on plans for a new colony world, where humans and Kithara would live side by side. Never, Marcus said without hesitation. Friendship is always worth more than conquest. Years later, as Marcus stood before the completed Embassy of Worlds, he watched children of dozens of different species playing together in the gardens. Former enemies worked side by side to solve problems and explore new worlds. The galaxy was becoming a place of cooperation instead of conquest. Kai approached him, its skin glowing with the healthy brightness of someone who had never forgotten the gift of freedom. Do you remember when you first called me by my name? Kai asked. Of course, Marcus smiled. That was when you became my friend. That was when I learned what it meant to be human, Kai replied. Not the species, but the ideal. To choose compassion over conquest. To see people instead of property. To offer hope instead of despair. Marcus looked out at the peaceful scene before them and felt proud of what they had built together. The war had ended not with the defeat of enemies, but with the creation of friends. And that, he thought, was the most human victory of all. In the end, Marcus Chen had received exactly what he wanted when the war ended: peace. But it was not the simple peace of retirement he had originally hoped for. It was something far better. The peace that comes from knowing you have helped build a better world for everyone. The galaxy would never be the same, and that was exactly as it should be.